Hello world out there, this is the Market Dominator coming to you for really a couple reasons. One, we are experiencing what has probably been overused, but unprecedented times in our world and in our culture, without a doubt. And so I'm not here to get political. I'm not here to delve into those social challenges that we're facing right now. I'm here to talk about real estate because that's what I do, right? And some of the things that are happening in real estate are as acutely changing as are what's happening socially in our world today and politically. And so I want to kind of use that analogy to kind of get you to think a little bit differently about what's happening in real estate, because it's actually very critical. And for most people, your homes are your greatest asset. And so you ought to be educated as to what's going on with your number one asset right now as it relates to the real estate market right now. And so I've really thought long and hard over the last several weeks to come to you, but I'm going to come to you now. I'm just coming out with it, okay? I work very hard in this business. I call myself the Market Dominator because I try to get up every day and work so hard that I want to dominate the market. I want to dominate what's happening in the market. I want to dominate what's going on and know the data. I want to know how to measure that. And I want to know how I can best serve my clients with that information. And so I call myself the Market Dominator. My name is John Spaschak, and I'm an associate real estate broker with Keller Williams Realty in Lancaster. And I've been doing this for about a decade and have risen to the top of my profession, very near the top, ranked in the top 100 consistently out of about 4,000 agents. So my proven success speaks for itself. So I say that only to bring credibility to what I'm about to tell you and share with you, okay? And that is this. Folks, we are experiencing a rise in our real estate values that has been going on coming out of the real estate crash that began a decade ago. But we're seeing new heights and some changes to the way the market is navigated by consumers. And so it's critically important that you understand this and get out in front of this. Now let me explain. I just recently put a Facebook post up that just astonishes me, because I put up a Cape Cod, typical normal Cape Cod, great bones, great condition, needed some minor updating. What house doesn't? But a great house, awesome house. I put it up last week. We did an open house on Sunday, which we marketed hard for. We only allow people to come in on Sunday out of convenience to the seller and preference to the seller. And so we had, as a result of the marketing, we had 30 plus private showings scheduled on Sunday alone, from the open house all the way up until 8 p.m. Okay? Now we listed the house at $149,999. Now that defaults in the system online on the internet to $150. Okay? And so we priced it there strategically for a reason, which I'm about to get into, that is critically important for you buyers and sellers, not just buyers, and sellers to really understand, because this is affecting the real estate market. And if you're working with the wrong agent, or you're not working with an agent, you're going to have a hard time understanding what's going on, and you're going to end up losing and failing in your attempts to navigate this tricky market. Okay? So let me explain. We listed it at $149,999 strategically for a purpose. Now, what is the real value of the property is the question. That's the real question. As a buyer, you're going to buy the property, and as a seller, for you expecting how much should I get for my home, those are two separate things. Marketing the house with a list price is very different than what the home's value is. You have to understand that. The days of listing a house $10,000 above what the value is, leave yourself a negotiating room, a buyer coming in knowing that they can negotiate off the list price, and you come to a happy medium and everybody's happy, hunky-dory, okay? It doesn't happen. Those days are gone, okay? They're gone. They're gone with the telephone, the landline, They're gone. They don't exist. People, you got to understand that 100% of the people who look for homes are using the internet. The internet on their phone, the internet on a laptop, a desktop, no matter what. And even if grandmom, who's 85 years old, is still looking for a house or looking to sell hers, she's going to call and doesn't have the internet. She's going to call her grandson, her son, her daughter, her granddaughter, somebody else she knows who has the internet for help, okay? Because 100% of real estate activity happens online. Nobody walks into a real estate office anymore looking for an agent or looking for homes, okay? Those days are gone. Guys got to swallow that in this market. Now that tells us something. What does it tell us? It tells us that if you're good at marketing, you understand what marketing is supposed to do. Marketing is supposed to attract. Okay? Marketing is done to attract. It's not just the product, it's the strategy of the marketing that attracts. Okay? And what's the number one marketing tool that trumps every other marketing tool that has ever existed? That's right, price. Okay? Price, price, price. The second is price, the third is price. Okay? It's all about price. And years ago, Kmart used to use the blue light special, in their store, that little sign, a siren that used to go off with the blue light, and everybody would come running for the deal, right? The deal. Then Walmart came in and said, why are you guys just doing that in one area of the store at one given time of the day? How about we just create the whole store and throw little blue dots on it and say, let's roll back the prices on everything, okay? And they put up stores and put Kmart out of business. And now we have strategically Amazon, who is really kind of putting Walmart out of business, although I don't know Walmart will ever go out of business. But Amazon is just doing the same thing, going direct, okay? And so we have this going on in real estate, folks. Wake up. Understand that if buyers are going to shop and price is going to be the number one impactor on marketing, then when they go on the internet to look, they're going to have to put in minimum price and maximum price. And those are the people you're going to attract. So the people you're going to attract has to do with the price that you list your house for. Okay? Simple as that. So if you're a buyer, you have to understand that. If you're a seller, you have to understand that. If you're going to navigate from either side of the market, you have to understand that. So where should you strategically price your house? Where, for a house that you're looking at it, how can you judge the price and say, well, I'm not paying $10,000 over for that house. That's not worth that price. You can't compare what the list price is to the value of the house anymore. Those days are gone. So that's number one. You have to get there. Now, recently I listed this Cape Cod, this beautiful brick cape in West Seneca, New York here. And we put it up less than a week. We attracted so much attention through effective marketing, which I'm not going to get into today. Call me if you're interested in that. It's 570-3298, 716 area code. I'll help you, okay? But through effective marketing, active marketing strategies, we had 32 private showings set for Sunday from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m., okay? So I said to the sellers, bye-bye. Go for the day, you're gone, go on vacation, take a day. I'm taking over the house, and we're coming in, and I'm bringing the market through your house, okay? By the end of the evening, we had multiple offers, and the house sold for about $20,000, nearly $20,000 over list price, I think. But I send out a form to all other real estate agents who show the house. It's just a really quick form, anywhere from 3 to 5 questions. Hey, give me some feedback. Give me your professional input on what you thought about the house, okay? And I posted something on Facebook earlier today because I just find it astonishing, and this is what's really led me to talk about this more, is that I had 3 or 4 of those feedback forms come back out of 32 showings that actually said the house was overpriced. Too high. Priced too high. That was their feedback. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And I'm that way, folks, this is not opinion, okay? It is easy. Easy. Takes me about 7 to 8 minutes, maybe about 18 or 20 to print out all of the data, but to actually get the number of the value range on this house, it's cookie cutter. I go to the neighborhood. I pull up in the last 6 months what has transpired in terms of active listings, under contract, pending, and actually closed, sold in the last 6 months with a similar year built, similar square footage, okay, and similar style house, Cape Cod's. This is what an appraiser's going to do. I mean, after all, if I agree to a price and a buyer's agent agrees to a price and a seller agrees to the price and the buyer agrees to the price and the seller's attorney agrees to the price and the buyer's attorney agrees to the price, that's 6 people. The appraiser's going to come in as the 7th and decide what the real value is anyway. So you better start thinking in terms of how the appraiser thinks, okay? And in order to do that, that takes a lot of work and understanding to know. But in this case, it's easy because there's so much valid information right there within, very close to the house itself. So the appraiser can't ignore the data. The data took me about 6 minutes to determine where the real value range on this house was. And the real value range was between 165 and 175. That's what it was. Okay? You can't, that's what it is. It's not an opinion. Okay? On the low end, depending on its condition, it's worth 165. On the high end, depending on its condition, it's worth 175. Okay? Now, yeah, all houses are worth what a buyer's willing to pay. But the house has to appraise, folks. Okay? It doesn't say what a buyer's willing to pay for cash when there's no appraisal. Okay? It has to appraise. So you have to think in terms of, yes, not just what a buyer's willing to pay, but what is a buyer's bank willing to approve. Okay? Big difference. And so you need to understand that where the real value is. So we determined that this house is worth between 165 and 175. Okay, what do you want to list it at? That's what I said to my sellers originally. Well, they said probably 179. I said, okay, you ready for my opinion? Yeah, I said 149.9. So default in the system on the internet at 150. We pick up all of the buyers searching from 100 to 150. And then you pick up all of the buyers looking from 150 to 200. Okay? Now, if the value to some people is only worth 150, great. From a consumer perspective, great. I understand that. Not everybody, number one, can afford it, and everybody's going to have a different opinion as to what the value is for them. Because it's their house that they're going to buy, right? But ultimately, the professional, the real estate agent, ought to be able to quickly determine what the value is. And I'm getting feedback forms from New York State licensed real estate agents. Okay, either real estate salespeople or associate real estate brokers telling me that the house is overpriced. Folks, this is alarming. This is alarming that we have this going on in this profession. And it really fires me up. You know why it fires me up? It fires me up because there were 3 or 4 consumers that are being represented by these agents who are led to believe that this listing is overpriced. That's bad. That is not good. If you're a consumer out there, you need to verify if you are working with the right agent, first of all. Okay? There are plenty of great agents. Now listen, I'm one of them, okay? I'm ranked in the top 100 agents out of like 3,500 plus in Western New York. I'm full-time, I drive this every day. Great, feel free to call me. But I'm not the only one. I'm one of 100. There's 99 others in the top 100. Okay? Call one of them too. It doesn't have to be me. I'm not just pitching myself here. I'm bringing this up to educate. Because on my business card, you will see that my logo, if you look at it real close here, has a graduation cap. And that's there, not there because I have a master's in education, which I do. It's there because everything I do is educational, which is really what this video is about. Okay? Consumers, you need to understand that list price has nothing to do with value. It's just designed to attract you to the house. Okay? There's a very low, critically low supply in the market. The demand is very high because interest rates are exceptionally low. And so how do we capture all of the market and create a multiple offer situation for a seller is to do what I did. You can't blame me for that, but you have to understand how the market is so you can know how to navigate it. And your agent should know this. So if you're one of those people that keeps missing out and missing out and missing out, you have a problem potentially with your agent, okay? You have a problem potentially with not being educated properly. There are many strategical tactics that you could be taking to win a home in this market. Even if you're FHA and even if you have seller's concessions. I have clients on this board right here, behind here, that have had FHA with concessions and we got the deal done recently, even within COVID, okay? So, I don't want to hear it, all right? I don't want to hear it. But I do want you to know that there's a big difference between marketing price, list price, and what the home's value is, okay? And you know what I did at this recent listing? Because I just knew that this was going to happen. I just had a hunch. So I did something I don't normally do. I actually created a little graphic like this big and put it in one of those plexiglass stand-up tabletop things. I had it on the kitchen counter and it said, see what the real value is to this home. And then I had another one set up over here that pulled the last 5 properties that had any action in the market that compared to the house I was listing. And it clearly showed what the average square foot price was of the value range of the house. I made it so easy, it's incredible. The consumer could see it, the agents who were showing the house could see it. I gave them the tools they needed to help educate their buyers, and that's what happened. And that home was worth between, I think, 122 and 125 a square foot. Okay? Very easy to figure out. I took some of that data, I made it nice, marketing material, I lifted it, it was all available. Okay? Right, nothing to hide. Here it is. It's data. These agents can look this up and do this themselves too, anyway. The funny thing is, the agent who won the house, okay, just sent me a text message late last night thanking me for giving them the ammunition they needed to help educate their buyer, to get their buyer to the place where the real value was in this home so they could win it. They had missed out on several previous homes. So this agent learned from this what I was doing, and I shared it with her so she could share it with her buyer so her buyer could understand that this is what's happening. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. These are facts, folks. The appraisers have to use a market range on a house by federal law. The bank can't lend you money for more than the house is worth. And it's a third-party licensed person that tells you that. That's called the appraiser. So enough of this opinion on stuff. And the funny thing is about real estate is everyone loves to have their own opinion on real estate, which is great. I understand it. That's fine. It's cool. Granted. But when you start navigating, you better get it right. You can't just flippantly base it on your opinion, okay? And especially an agent can. Now, I know a lot about this market. I study it every day. There's about 876 single-family homes on the market today in Erie County. That level of inventory is as low as it's been for this time of the year, I think ever, that I'm aware of. I think earlier during COVID, we were down to like 810 or 809 at one point. We almost went underneath 800 in Erie County for single-family homes. That's critically low, okay? But I know a lot about this business because I study it every day, and I'm helping people navigate it. Hundreds of people through this market I've helped. And so I'm trying to help you, even if you don't use me as a real estate agent, okay? So as the market dominator, I hope you get some value out of understanding that list price is not speaking to house value. Whether you're a seller or a buyer, they are two separate things. List price is only a marketing tool. That's all it's used for. It should come close, fairly close, to value, but it shouldn't compete there, okay? And because of the demand and the supply imbalance in our market, you are going to expect to have competition. If the house is priced where it should be for marketing purposes, which was where mine was, lower than its value to attract, then you can expect competition. How are you going to deal with that competition? How? How are you going to deal with that competition? What strategy are you going to use? You're just going to base it on how much you're going to go over list price? Well, it doesn't matter if you went 30,000 over list price if the real value is still 10,000 under, your offer is still 10,000 under what the value of the house is. Then you got a deal. Okay? You have to understand that. It has nothing to do with the list price, it has everything to do with where the real value is. Okay? So folks, if you need help determining where the real value is on a home that you're either looking at or you want to know because you're holding on to a home in this market where the home is worth more than it ever has been, and you want to know what that value is, you get a hold of me, okay? You can call me directly at 716-570-3298, or you can email me at yourelitebroker@gmail.com, okay? My name is John Spaschak, and I'm an associate real estate broker with Keller Williams Realty in Lancaster, 2701 Transit Boulevard in Elma, New York. Okay? I have to give that to you just to be compliant with the good old New York State governing laws. So, I hope you all have a wonderful Independence Day celebration and holiday coming up here. Happy birthday, America, and let's get together and just celebrate all the goodness and everything that we do have in the midst of all the struggles that our country is enduring right now. So, hope you have a great day.